You're in the chicken shack. What do? You're a genie. What do?
Well, I make me a chicken sandwich.
What do you say?
I make me a chicken sandwich.
Oh, you just go behind the counter and grab the ingredients?
And just start making my food, yeah. 'Cause I can't wait for them to take them too long.
Alright. Back to Gabby, it's your turn. You jumped on the head of the prince with your frog legs. You're a frog. He didn't wake up. What do?
I tell him what happened to me.
Do you speak right into his ear, or do you just speak on top of his head?
I speak into his ear.
Alright, you get to whatever you roll, I'm going to give you a +2 because you're trying to get him to hear you and you're speaking right into his ear. So roll. You get a +2 to your roll. That's what I rolled. Oh, it's hard to focus in on that. It's a 1. I rolled a 1. So,
I rolled 12.
you got a 12, 13. You got a 14. He wakes up. He says, "Who is that? Where are you?" What do?
I say, I'm right up here.
He doesn't see you. You're on the ground. He says, "Who's talking? Where's that voice coming from?"
Down here.
Now, let's see if he notices you. Let's see. He does notice you. He says, "Oh crap, a talking frog." Back to Brian. You're making your chicken sandwich. Guess what happens?
The mayonnaise squirts all over the floor.
Guess what happens?
Mayonnaise squirts
A
all over.
troll walks out from behind a door in the back. He must be the manager. He's 9 feet tall. He has horns. He has tusks coming out of his mouth. He's 3 times bigger than you. He's like the Arnold Schwarzenegger of trolls. He says, "What do you think you're doing?" And then all of a sudden, from behind his back, he pulls out a shotgun and points it at you. What do?
Well, I'm the genie, so
So what do? You're a genie, but
what I do.
that doesn't mean you'll automatically succeed.
So what I do is I take my big genie gut that I have and I lift it all the way up in the air to where basically the bullet goes right underneath my legs and he misses me.
He didn't shoot at you yet. He's just pointing it at you.
Oh, well then I tell him to put the gun away, that's all.
Alright, pretend I'm him. So this is role-playing. He says, "I'll give you 5 seconds to get out of here fast, ghost. Wherever you came from, just go right on back." What do?
Oh, well, since he ain't harming me, then I just get up and leave, that's all.
He says, "And take your chicken sandwich with you, but never come back to this place again."
I leave for the night, but
Alright, back to Gabby.
I come back.
Back to Gabby. The prince looks down at you and he picks you up and he holds you in his hand like this. Look, Gabs. He holds you in his hand like this. He says, "Why are you talking to me?"
Because well, I've been turned into a frog by this genie. Actually, I really wish I was a ballerina.
He says, "I'm not sure I believe you."
But can you kiss me,
He says, "Are you crazy? Why would I kiss a frog?"
Because I've been turned into a frog, but
Prove to me that you are not really a frog. I am not going to just kiss a frog, even though it talks, and that is, I will grant you, that is kind of weird, but in this day and age, anything can happen.
Watch this.
He says, "Prove to me that you are not a frog."
Okay.
What do?
I'm standing on my 2 feet.
You're still a frog, though. What? You're gonna try to stand on 2 feet? Is that what you said? All right, roll it to see how good you do. Steph, you want to jump in?
No, thank you. Brian, do you know
What's that?
You try to stand on
I have
2
no
feet
clue,
and you try to stand on 2 feet and you fail. You can't do it. Back to Brian.
Right?
Yes, I do.
Brian.
We're gonna have to get dogs tomorrow.
Brian. So you leave with your chicken sandwich? You took your chicken sandwich with you?
Yes, I do.
All right, where do you go to? Like I told you, the only limit to this game is your imagination. That's the only limit, is your imagination. You can do anything you want.
Well, I'll go back to my lantern.
All right, you go back to your lantern, and do you try to take your chicken sandwich into the lantern?
I try to take it with me, but it doesn't fit.
It doesn't fit, exactly.
So
And you just turned it into mush now. Now it's all over the grass.
No.
Well, I left it beside the lantern, and the dog tried to eat it.
And by the way, it's starting to become nighttime now. What do you do?
Well, I'm afraid of the dark, so I do run in the lantern really quick, and I turn
All
the
right.
lights on.
And you turn the lights on, and you're in your lamp. What else do you do?
What else do I do? Well, I like to sing when I'm in the shower, so I take a shower and I start singing.
All right. And well, sing the song for us. Let's hear it. It's role-playing.
Singing in my shower. I'm singing in my shower.
Wait, I'm on color with real pencil.
I'm not coloring.
Is that it for your song? Is your song done?
That is the end of my song, yeah.
All right. Back to Gabby. Gabby, you're trying to convince this prince that you're really a frog. What do you do?
We're not a frog.
What do you do?
Oh, he knows I'm talking, so that really proves
What do you want to do? You got to get some ideas going.
Dancing?
You're gonna dance? All right. So what do you say? Do you say something to him? Do you tell him I'm gonna dance for you, or do you just dance?
I say, I'm going to dance for you, my love.
He says, "Well, I wouldn't call you love yet. You still have not proved anything to me. But if you want to dance, go ahead." Oh, here, roll to see how good you dance.
Oh, come on, roll back.
Oh, looking good.
Come on, Slowpoke. You dance, but it's not very good, and it's not good enough to convince him. He says, "Look, you say that you weren't a frog. What were you before you became a frog? Not that I believe you or anything."
Humans.
He goes, "Well, why don't you show me where you used to live? I'll carry you there. Just tell me where you used to live, and then I'll see if you can prove to me once you go to your house."
Well, I live, once, I live right past here. Well, I was getting my newspaper, and I saw this creepy bottle. Actually, the bottle's right in front of my door.
He says, "Show me this bottle, and I'll tell." And he says, "And I will tell you if I believe you. Show me where the bottle is." He says, "Are you trying to tell me there's a genie inside the bottle?"
Actually, he already gone up. He already went to chicken. To chicken restaurant.
He said, "Well, show me where this bottle is." Do you take him to it?
Mm-hmm.
All right, Brian, this is where you come in. She's taking the prince to the bottle to prove to him that there's a genie that lives there. This is where you come in. You're inside the bottle when the prince arrives. You're inside the bottle. You're inside the bottle when he comes over to it. He grabs the bottle. As soon as he sees it, he covets it. He realizes that it is a genie bottle. He grabs it like this. Hold the camera. He grabs it like this. And he runs off with it. You inside your bottle feel like an earthquake's happening, and you're like disturbed. Matter of fact, you fall out of the shower while you're taking a shower. It's very disturbing. to you, to your shower. It's very disturbing to your shower.
Very, yes.
It messes up your shower, and it may even mess up your day.
I think it did, yeah. Because now I got a headache. Yeah.
Yep, you got a headache, all right. What do you do?
I start yelling for one thing.
He hears little tiny, like, squeaks inside the bottle. He puts his ear up to it, and he says, "Is that you, Genie? Are you going to grant me my 3 wishes?"
I say no, Brian.
I said, no, you can't get your 3 wishes until the first person grants the rest of their wishes.
He only hears squeaking. He can't make out exactly what you said. He only hears squeaking. So he rubs the bottle. I'll act it out. Hold the camera. He says, "Come on. Come on out. Serve your master. I'm ready for my wishes. Come on." And you do what?
And you come out of the bar.
And by the way, Gabby, you're standing there too, by the way.
Well, I come out the bottle, but I can't grant you.
Wait a minute, Gabby, when he was running away with the bottle, did you follow him? Or you did? All right, so you're there. You're there. You're with him. What do you do, Brian? And you both can tell me what you're going to do.
Yeah, I come out of the answer, but I can't grant you your wishes because she hasn't finished her 3 wishes yet.
Gabby, do you say anything? Do you say anything?
I say,
So you gotta finish your 3 wishes. Is what I'm trying to tell you.
I'm going to finish my 3 wishes. But first,
He says, "I don't need you now. I got a genie that can do anything that I tell him." And then he tries to grab you by the neck, Brian, but his hands go through you.
Nice.
He looks surprised like this. He goes, but he does grab the bottle and say, "Well, I got your home. You have to obey me."
you're not going to
What
break
do you-
my genie.
What do you guys do?
Well, I say, you can't trust my...
Well, I basically go back to my lantern.
He says, "I call you forth, genie. You must obey me. And if she must make 2 wishes, let it be so. Let her do so now."
What if she's gotta say her 2 wishes and then he can take over his wishes?
Gabrielle, what do you do?
Until my 2nd and my 3rd wish.
Go ahead. Tell him. He's the genie. Tell him.
I want to be back to my regular self.
Nah, so you don't want to be a frog anymore, huh?
Roll it to see if you successfully turn her back into herself. I rolled a 6. You rolled a 17. You successfully return her to her natural form. Now, what do you say to each other?
Yeah.
You are no longer a frog now.
We're almost done. I'll give you like 3 more things to do before we end it. Because Gabby's it's her bedtime. What do you do now, Gabby? I think you got 1 wish left.
I wish to be the master of this place.
Of what place? The master of what place, Gabby?
This kingdom.
Oh, the world, you mean? Of the world? You want to be the master of the world is what you're saying?
No, of this state.
Okay, all right, well, you understood her. So what do? You try to turn her into the master of the state? Like the queen, I guess, is what she wants?
You know, she made a wish that she wants to be
Roll it.
the ruler.
You get 2 more things to do, Brian, and then we're done.
So, let's see.
I rolled a 3, you rolled a 14. You successfully turn her into the queen.
Alright.
Her 3 wishes up. Now the prince grabs the lamp and he says, "My turn to wish. I wish myself to be the king and the only ruler of the entire world." You try to do it?
Well, unfortunately, I have no choice but to obey his wishes.
A genie's life is a genie's life. Oh, you rolled a 20. You successfully turned him into the king. He says, "My 2nd wish is to have all the gold, I want a palace whose every room is filled to the top with gold coins. And I want it to have 40 rooms. 40 rooms. Do this,
40
genie.
worms?
Rooms.
As you wish, my master.
6. You successfully give him his, not, what I say, 40 rooms of gold. All right, he says, for my final wish, and this will be your last thing, unless you want to add one more thing in there. He says, I wish to have the same powers of a genie, but not to be in service to anyone.
Well, gotta obey the master, huh,
You rolled a 15, he rolls a 17. Guess what? You fail to give him, to transfer your powers to him. Instead, anything over a 7 is a disastrous result. Something funny or disastrous will happen. Anything under 7 is nothing. Nothing happens. 6, nothing happens.
Nice.
Now, is there anything you want to do before... Anything else you want to add in there before we end the game? The game never ends. You just when you stop playing, you pick up where you left off next time.
Yeah.
Most people that play role-playing games, they'll play it once a week and they'll pick up wherever they left off. If you die, you just get a new character, but the story keeps going.
Oh, like that. Okay.
So is there anything you want to do before we quit? Any more, like, see things maybe or whatever if you want?
No, I'll go back in my lantern and turn in for the night, yeah?
You go into your lantern. Do you like change into your jammies and your pajamas? Your genie pajamas?
Well, you know, I'm getting a little head start, so I got my little Santa Claus and candy cane underwear, yes. You know.
And Gabrielle, I'll give you 2 things to do before we quit. What do you want to do? Brian's done. It's your turn.
I want to go to bed.
You want to go to bed, okay? So do you do anything before you go to bed? Like grab a snack to eat or put the radio...
No, she's good. She already had her meal to do.
No, we mean in the game. In the game.
Oh.
Do you put the radio on first? Watch some TV? What do you do first?
I watch TV while eating.
Do you cook a TV dinner in the microwave? And then what? You go to bed? All right, let's roll it to see how successfully you fall asleep. No, first of all, let's see if you burn the food. I rolled a 13.
Come on, baby.
You rolled a 2. Guess what? You overcooked the food. You burnt it. It's actually smoking. What do you do with the food?
I give it to my dog.
He doesn't even eat it. He stays away from it. He licks it a little bit, and that's it. Now what do you do?
And I give it to my cat.
Your cat won't even go near it. What do you do now? You said you wanted to go to bed? Do you still want to do that?
No.
What do you want to do now? You get one more thing.
I'll try to make more for them.
You're gonna make.
Then go.
You're gonna try and make more food.
TV.
You're gonna try and make more food. Is that what you said?
Mhm.
All right, roll it. I rolled a 14.
Oh wait.
What are you taking your gum out for? What did you take your gum out for? Oh, so you can use both hands? That's funny. God bless. All right, I rolled a 14 and you rolled a 3. Guess what? You burned the food again and it's smoking again.
I go.
The smoke alarm goes off.
I tried.
Matter of fact, not only does the smoke alarm go off because you burned the food twice, you have one of those sprinkler systems above your head that if it detects too much smoke, the sprinkler comes on to put out the fire, and guess what? It goes off. And you're standing under it, and you get drenched with water. Now what do you do?
I
Real
get
quick.
dried off by my heater.
You get dried off by your heater? All right, God bless. God bless. God is good.